friends, welcome back to another video on our channel. Thanks for showing so much support on our first video. If you people haven't watched the first video yet, the link is attached in the description box below. Make sure to watch it. Today we have come up with this video listening out alternative solution on how the healthcare system in India could have managed the COVID crisis in a better manner. When times are normal, the quality of leadership is not on trial. Even an unimaginative head of country, an organization, a family can get by. The situation changes when a threat looms large. COVID created such a situation in India, and the record shows that it was handled in a manner no one can be proud of. I am Nupur. I would like to start by saying dusk is falling in the Indian capital, and the smell of burning bodies fills the air. At the tiny crematorium in a Delhi suburb, several funeral pyres are still burning. India set new global records for daily COVID-19 infections, repeatedly surpassing the 3 lakh tally previously set by the US. Its total confirmed cases, more than 18 million, are second only to that of the US by official counts. More than 2 lakh have now died, and some 3,000 are dying per day. The true daily death toll is at least 2 times higher. Solutions in India during COVID-19. The police department kick-started awareness campaigns to raise everyone's awareness of the COVID-19 virus and encourage the citizens to wear their masks and wash their hands vigilantly. This helped spread awareness both on the streets and on the internet. The Indian government developed a relief fund for 23 billion to distribute food and cash to the poor during the COVID-19 virus. Food rations and funds were distributed to informal laborers who make up 86% of the population. Now let's move on to some technological solutions. Robots could have been developed to sit outside office buildings and dispense hand sanitizer and deliver public health messages regarding COVID-19. Hospitals could also using robots in isolation wards to distribute medical supplies and medicines. This takes a lot of risk and effort of the hospital staff tending to patients. The COVID-19 virus has caused problems, but India has brought forth solutions through lockdowns and through economic decisions. These problems and solutions in India during COVID-19 have helped the citizens, but not on a large extent. Now, I would like to call Lukinder to share his views.
Thanks, Nupur. Now I am discussing about what are the steps taken by the government to fight coronavirus in India. The world is currently fighting COVID-19, which has nearly 28 crore confirmed cases and caused over 3.4 lakh deaths in India itself. Here are some key steps taken by the Indian government to fight the deadly virus. Precautionary steps. While the virus spread globally, the government took proactive measures to control its spread in India. It conducted heavy screenings and mandatorily quarantined incoming international travelers and also conclusively suspended all visas, except for diplomats and employment. Till April 15, all cross-national borders were sealed and railway operations were suspended. Further, all schools, gyms, malls, clubs, hotels, community halls, etc. were shut. But due to increased risk of spread of the virus, on March 24, the Prime Minister announced a complete 21-day lockdown for the entire nation, banning people to move out of their houses. This act thus severely restricted the community spread of the virus. However, the downside is that the lockdown is expected to shave off more than 10 lakh crores from the Indian company. Informative steps. To curb the growing panic and to distribute vital information, the government provides authentic information on the virus, its spread, prevention, guidelines, helpline numbers, registered cases, death, etc. on the Ministry of Health website. Medical steps. The government has designed 72 centers across the country for the diagnosis and treatment of COVID-19. As per the WHO estimate, there should be 3 beds per 1,000 people, while India has only 0.7 beds per 1,000 people. Thus, to provide for more isolation ward, the government converted more than 20,000 railway coaches into isolation stations. Meanwhile, the center has also ramped up steps to develop a vaccine for the pandemic. Financial step. On the other hand, the Reserve Bank of India undertook emergency measures cutting various interest rates to a record low to increase liquidity into the economy by over 3.7 lakh crores. It also ordered a 3-month EMI moratorium from banks and financial institutions such as Tata Capital, as well as provided relief for taxpayers by deferring the ITR and GST filing dates until June 2020. The Indian government is leaving no stone unturned in battling coronavirus. However, whether or not government has successfully contained the spread of COVID-19 in the country, only statistics can tell. Now, I would like to call Ahmed to share his views.
Thank you, Lukinder. Now, some of the ways with which the government can improve its response to COVID-19 are: number one, quantum increase in budget allocations. Despite modest increase in budget outlays over the last year, India continues to spend some of the lowest amounts as a country on health, around 1.1% of its GDP. Number two, rebuilding the trust between doctors and patients. Among other things, 2020 and 2021 will be remembered for the low level of trust between doctors and the people, leading to several incidents of violence against doctors and doctors taking to the streets in protest. This state of affair is a result of an overextension healthcare setup, making for room for unethical practices and an increasing cost of care. India has dynamic pharmaceutical and biotechnological industries, world-class scientists, and leading hospitals that attract foreign patients and treat its citizens of better. Yet, Indian government and public health officials agree that the government also facing daunting public health challenges, particularly for the poor. So how does the government spend more money? Number one, for starters, it should allocate more funds to healthcare in the budget. Number two, central and state governments should be in a sync, and the funds each is going to allocate and how they are going to implement programs to improve and strengthen healthcare. Improving the funding mechanism. Fund flow should be regular and adequate. Projects should be clearly defined and target-oriented so that funds can be matched to the results delivered. Funding mechanism should be transparent and the unnecessary layering of bureaucracy and paper pushing reduced so that corruption is eliminated or at least reduced. Number four, healthcare insurance and innovations in funding mechanism. To ensure that all citizens can avail best quality healthcare, the government should increase the health insurance coverage, introduce co-payments and health-saving accounts. There are many other solutions for improving healthcare. For example, number one, encouraging innovation and manufacturing of medical devices within the country. Number two, spending more on medical research. Number three, improving medical, nursing, and technical education as well as upskilling of existing manpower. Number four, international collaborations. These are some of the ways in which the government can improve. Thank you. And now I would like to call Vaisakhi.
Thank you, Ahmed. Now I will be discussing about planning and identification. Use data to identify the hardest hit areas. Virtually everyone has experienced the negative impact of this series, but some industries and some regions has been especially severely affected. It will be important to craft fair and transparent AIDS formula supported by data, conduct and industry sectors assignment by analyzing various sectors of the economy against their level of COVID-19 vulnerability. Government could provided more precise guidance than more essential whereas non-essential designation. Such an assessment could consider factors such as likelihood of whispered disease transmission, a sector's ability to mitigate against such transmission, and so forth. This could inform decision about which business can reopen and under what parameters and provided business owners and citizens with safety guidelines. Evaluate supply chain vulnerability of food supplies, medicine supplies, and device offer life-saving care to global shocks, run stress tests for different future scenarios, which could include subsequent waves of pandemic or other global distribution. Use the power of networked comment. Recovery will require a network of collaborative effort with better integration of process and data across agents and departments plan ahead for potential subsequent waves. If the virus abates and then returns in the winter in different regions of world, countries don't want to have to shut down the economy against. Widespread testing and tracking along with new therapy could make such retirement less disruptive. Now I would like to call Rohan to share his view.
Thanks, Baisakhi, for your views on planning and identification. Hello, myself Ronak, and I am going to show you about how government has foresight the COVID-19 crisis in India. So basically, this study considers how governments should think about short, long-term responses to COVID-19 crisis. Rather than offering specific policy recommendation, we will look how governments can structure their decision making to address the challenges they face. Now let's look how government responded. Both central and state governments are in the response phase. They are dealing with an immediate crisis. Governments are moving fast by bypassing many typical procedures, ordering business closures, curtailing travel, reallocating industrial capacity to meet urgent medical needs, and providing immediate financial assistance. Some countries, mostly in the southern hemisphere, have yet to experience the crisis. Now let's see about the recovery phase. As in the intermediate danger eases, government will enter the recovery phase, shifting their focus to steepening the curve of the economic recovery and to mitigating the broader impacts of the crisis. Public institutions will begin to return to normal. Government will still move swiftly, possibly shortcutting some traditional controls, but with fewer unilateral executive actions. Now it's about the surviving the crisis. Thrive, having survived the crisis, governments will consider long-term improvements to public operations to ensure they can respond effectively to future risks by becoming more digital, revisiting supply chains, and monitoring for future pandemics. Old rules and regulations should be re-evaluated, allowing technologies that have shown their effectiveness during the crisis, such as telehealth and remote work, to become permanent options in the government. Thanks. Now I would like to invite Satya to share his views.
Thanks, Rohan. Let's look some helpful tools and tips. Provide the right information at the right time through the right channels. Leaders at all levels should communicate as frequently as possible in these challenging circumstances. Emails, chats, and text can help, but videos can help connect emotionally and build trust among a concerned and overwhelmed workforce. Remote work. Be considerate to the need for flexibility in work schedules due to disruption. Pilot phishing drills to access the workforce readiness against such attacks. Provide workforce with guidance on cyber hygiene to minimize the probability of the insider threats. Virtual social care. Equip caseworkers with the required devices and virtual tools to process application, access eligibility, and deliver services online. Provide on-demand training to caseworkers to enable them to provide high-quality social care to the beneficiaries. Reassure beneficiaries about the quality of social care and address privacy concerns through effective communication. Adjust the rule to meet the mission. The public sector creates rules to ensure consistency and limit inappropriate exercise of discretion. In a crisis, however, these rules may actually work against the ultimate mission, and temporarily modifying rules may be beneficial. Procurement officials, for example, can tap into their toolkit to quickly award contractors to ensure timely delivery of the critical supplies and services. Thank you guys. Now I would like my friend Omkareswar Hota to proceed further.
Thanks, Satya. Now I will discussing about data, the foundation for resilient government. Without data, signals that lead to responses are never triggered. Without data, there is no shared understanding to align a network or guide resource allocation. Digital government creates rapid response capability but also generates the real-time data needed to enable anticipatory government. Now, the leadership in the thrive phase. The healthcare crisis is over and the economy has been stabilized. What now? To thrive post-crisis, leaders should embrace the long view and ensure the opportunity to invest resiliency and improve the public sector. That is to better position it to deal with future crises. Is not one wasted? We've seen numerous examples of governments using digital technologies to provide human-centered services to ease their path through the crisis. In short, the more digital and citizen-centric the government, the better for those it serves. Thank you all. Now I would like to call Preeti to share her views.
Thank you, Omkar. The journey ahead will not be easy. In battling the spirit of these diseases, the global economy has been brought to a near standstill. This is a new and tricky virus, which spread rapidly and produced their symptoms in only some of those infected, further enabling its spread. In the months ahead, this silent killer may continue to deliver deadly flare-ups that threaten to other film care facility and further impeded the economic's ability to bounce back. Moreover, the economic down has decimated government revenues even as demand for service has soared. It is a triple series targeting our health, our economic, and our governments. But government has the tools to guide society through the series inevitable phase: respond, recover, and thrive. At last, thank for patience hearing. Friends, please like, share, you hit the subscribe button and turn the notification, because in the next video we will be discussing on the best solution. Make sure you don't miss that. Till then, stay healthy, stay safe, always wear masks going out.